My God, you think I was on the drugs? Like, I'm not even that lucky. Woo. I haven't had anything to drink. I had a poppy seed muffin earlier, okay? So nobody give me a drug test, though. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this dude up here. He's pretty much incredible. You've probably seen him on television, actually, because for a while there, he was playing a stand-in for every single member of Static X. Please welcome to the stage, David Tricker.
Yeah, I'm doing No Shave November, but I started way back in April. Hi, how y'all doing tonight? This is actually my third time up here on stage. I'm still a rookie, but it's my third time up here on stage, and I'm still nervous. Can you believe that? But thank God God invented alcohol, because if it wasn't for alcohol, my nuts would be about this big right now. But because I've had a few drinks, they've actually gotten to be about this big. So that's about all it takes to get up here to get on stage is that. Yeah, I'm from Pendleton. You know how many people here from Pendleton? Yeah. Well, I used to live in Hermiston. I don't know how many people know much about Hermiston. Yeah, I lived there for a couple of years, but then I realized I had to move when it became apparent to me that I didn't speak the language. And it dawned on me at that when I went to the DMV to get my license renewed, and they had to find an interpreter for me. Yeah, there'll be more to that joke after I learn a little bit of Spanish. I don't really have a whole bunch of new jokes, so I'm going to have to tell some of the old ones that I said, because I'm a little busy, and I haven't really had much time to write. So, being from Pendleton, we've always idolized the Tri-Cities. We've always loved coming over here ever since we were little kids, about this big. We really liked coming over here first for Toys R Us. You know, in Pendleton we had Kmart at that point in time, and Toys R Us, you know, they had all the great toys. They had the Transformers, the G.I. Joes. As we got older, you know, our high school years, we realized you guys had the mall, and at the mall you guys had places like Hot Topics. We go to Hot Topics and we buy ourselves big jet black t-shirts with middle fingers on it and think we go to school, we're rebels, we're rebels! Until the teachers told us to take them off and go home. We should have just left. Well, as we got a little bit older, we realized you guys had another store that Pendleton wasn't completely devoid of, but did not have the greatest selection of it. It was sex shops. You guys had the Castle Megastore over there. And in Pendleton, our only sex store when we were growing up was a little spot on Main Street called the Curio Shop. You guys from Pendleton might remember it. It's an Indian artifact shop with little things here and there and some party knickknacks. And in the very back corner, they had a little section with 2 dildos, 4 porno mags, and a shelf of KY jelly. So needless to say, the first time I walked into the Castle Megastore, I was blown away. I walk in with a buddy of mine, and we go in, and you know, first we see the sexy lingerie as you walk in, and we're like, oh wow, you know, naughty nurses, sexy schoolgirls. I could like this. Man, bring my girlfriend in here or something. As we reach on further inside the store, we decide to do the big circuit around, see everything there we got. We see the section with all the dildos in it. We were just, whoa, gee, I had no clue they made so many different shapes and sizes, and ones with ribs and bumps and lines. It's like, wow, they got creative with these. Then I find this oddity, though, at the end of the section of dildos. And there it was. It was this fist with an arm. I was blown away by this thing. I was like, what the hell is this for? You know, I'm from Pendleton, so my imagination is limited. So the only thing I could think of was that maybe it was for the ladies, for when the guys are doing them from doggy style. If a guy actually went in the back door, they could beat him in the face with this thing to get him off. Get him off. That's about what my imagination ends on that one. What the hell we use a fist for? So we venture on from there, and we see we enter into the vibrator section, and you know, I had no clue that NASA was designing vibrators for women these days. These things were outrageous. I mean, they had a display model that I picked up. And the thing had more buttons on it than the remote control for my TV. I turn the thing on and it starts going, and I'm like, whoa, the middle's all, front of it's all going, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. If my girlfriend ever sees this thing, ever, I am never getting, that is my nemesis now. I'm going to set you aside. I'm going to hide you. I'm going to stand. I'm going to play point guard, so none of the other women, I'm doing you men a favor by this, by keeping them away from this thing. It didn't work though, because I looked kind of odd guarding a dildo. So I ventured on, and there's some odd things in a place like this. They had a section with inflatable women called the Inflated Date. And I don't know what kind of deprived, lonely man finds this attractive. Arthur, calm down, calm down.
No hate.
I don't hate you, Arthur, I love you. But not your date, though. But anyway, in the section, they also had other little oddities. They had a little sheep, an inflatable sheep. I was thinking, my God, they don't have this in Pendleton? This ought to be on sale during the roundup. And it was odd, you know, I'm picking it up. They had a display model inflated like this, and I set the thing down, and as I'm behind it, I leaned forward. I was like, oh, press the ear, and all of a sudden it goes, more, whoa. And I back off. I'm like, whoa, I gotta get odd looks here. As I venture on further into the store, I come across the other section for men, the section with the pocket pussies, and they had all kinds. They had, you know, fake lips, fake other things, fake other lips. And they had one called the Virgin. I was like, yeah, that's for virgins, all right. Then they had the really crazy odd one was this handheld blowjob machine that you plugged into your cigarette lighter called the Auto Suck. Now, I'm aware that they've made cell phones illegal to use on the road now, but why is this thing still on the shelves, ladies and gentlemen? It literally there was no hiding the meaning for this thing. They literally had a guy on the front of this with this thing in his hand, and on the slogan it said, one hand on the wheel, one hand on the auto suck, going, I'm like, whoa, Jesus, okay. You know, and at that, I was at the point where, you know, I think I've seen enough. I don't really need to look at midget porn videos and weird bisexual, gay, animal love videos. So I decided to leave, but as me and my friend were leaving, I stopped and I said, you know what, you know, I'm here, I might as well pick up some condoms for my girlfriend. I'll go ahead and meet you outside. And I run back to that little section and I grab that thing right off the shelf, and I'm over here, I'll be like, I'll take this auto suck to go. Yeah, that was my trip to the Castle Megastore. Haven't been really back since because it hasn't broke yet. But anyway, in Pendleton, we have an interesting nightlife in Pendleton. We have a lot of people that like to wander the streets at night. A lot of crackheads, a lot of people who like to do strange and silly things, and I like to make fun of them because, well, I was one of them for a lot of years. So when I make these stories up, I make these things up, I speak actually from experience, not from just observation. I'm not like the crocodile hunter as the crackhead hunter, you know, this is the crackhead in his natural environment. You know, oh, that was pretty late. But anyway, I made these up. It kind of goes, if you've ever been at Walmart at 3 a.m. in the morning, in the aisle with a shopping cart flipped over, working on the wobbly wheel, you might be a crackhead. And if on that shopping list of Walmart, all you brought, or the shopping list of Walmart, all that was on it was light bulbs and tinfoil, you might be a crackhead. And if your idea of a 3-course meal is 2 lines and a 40, you might be a crackhead. And if your grandmother has more teeth than you do, you might be a crackhead. And if you and your partner prefer sex doggy style so you can both look out the blinds at the same time, you might be a crackhead. And if you've ever gotten into an argument with one of your friends for 20 minutes on who stole your lighter while holding it in your hand, you might be a crackhead. If you've ever thought it was a good idea to pet a police dog with drugs in your pocket, you might be a crackhead. And if you've ever helped your friend look for something for the better part of the afternoon that you stole, you might be a crackhead. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got. Next time I'll
David Tricker, you guys. I actually just learned something from that comedy set. I had no idea that the Rabbit 2000 was an Indian artifact. I didn't know that. I I didn't know you could go to the reservation and buy sex toys. I had no idea. You just taught me something, so thank you.
The more you know.
Where's LeVar Burton? Because the more I know right now, that joke's apparently terrible. Or nobody knows who LeVar Burton is.
Jordy!
Yeah, okay.
It's the
So,
reading rainbow.
people ask me sometimes where I get material. Like I was performing in Sela this last weekend. My career's taken off. And somebody was like, how do you come up with all that stuff? And I'm like, the truth is people just say things and they write my material for me, really. So I'm out to dinner the other night with my sister and her husband. And my sister points out how the way